welcome to Sib Spot. Today's featured Reddit stories are from PettyRevenge. Story 1 today is by No Routine 7027. She charged me $1,200 in cleaning fees, so I cleaned her reviews. I rented a small event space for a surprise party. The place looked really nice online, decent price, and the host seemed polite enough until after the event. Out of nowhere, she hits me with a $1,200 deep cleaning bill. Said we left the place unusable, which was wild because we barely used the kitchen and left it cleaner than we found it. I asked for proof. She sent blurry photos of trash, not even ours. I appealed through the booking platform. Denied. She was clearly running a side hustle scam, a few hundred off each booking and hope no one fights too hard. So I did my own cleaning. I found her business on every platform I could. Yelp, Google, Facebook, event site, and left detailed, calm, 1-star reviews with photos from our event showing how spotless the place was when we left. Turns out I wasn't the only one. My review picked up traction. Others came forward with the same scam. Within weeks, her rating dropped from 4.8 to 2.9. Last I checked, she's offering 50% off all bookings. Guess someone's trying to clean up her reputation. If a business really does screw you over, one of the best things you can do is go on their platform and leave negative reviews. Because most people that aren't aware of a business do turn to Google or Yelp or TripAdvisor, all these different sites with comments where they read about the bad experiences that people have. And you can't always trust the reviews that people leave. Some companies in one industry will hire bots to go to another competitor and leave low reviews so that they come to them instead. Most of the time, at least now, you can tell when they're bots because the comments are all kind of the same structure. But I don't know, with the advent of AI and how detailed they can get nowadays, AI bot reviews are going to be very hard to differentiate between a bot and a real person. It really sucks that somebody tried to take you for a ride, basically. Down in the comments were a couple good replies. First by SnewWords4839. That is great. Now someone you know should rent it out at the 50% and say how horrible the place is, even at a steep discount. Yeah, and they're going to have to take before and after pictures as well, so that they have proof. They should have somebody come and inspect the property to say that it is in the condition that you got it in and left it in, so that they have somebody to vouch for them too. And further down underneath that by Argues Over Everything. Don't let up. Ask the people that attended the event to also leave terrible reviews. Heck, I'll do it too. I was there. I helped you clean. I can't believe they would do this after the great job we did. You're pretty much guaranteed to find people on the internet that are going to fight for your cause if you say the story's true. Our next story is by Odd Freedom 9198. The time a supervisor tried to throw me under the bus, but I had receipts. This happened in 2015 during my first year of teaching in special education, USA. I don't know if anyone else here works in special ed, but if you do, you're probably familiar with the difficult process of obtaining a one-on-one para for a student. So I had this kiddo. We'll call him Jay. Jay had some unsafe behaviors as a kindergartner, such as eloping from the school and into the neighborhood. It was terrifying to say the least, a big safety concern. So I spoke with my supervisor, showed him the data, and he agreed this student definitely needs one-on-one support. My supervisor, Mr. C, worked with me for a couple weeks on the safety net process, getting a one-on-one. It was a lot of loops and jumps and saying the right thing in a very specific ways, but I got it completed. I sent it to Mr. C for the last final review and was met with silence. I emailed him after a day because we're all busy in this field. No worries. But more silence. I called his office and left a voicemail with his secretary, but more silence. I tried to get a hold of him for 2 weeks with growing worry because the deadline was approaching, but I never heard back from him. After the due date passed, he finally messaged me and said since I didn't reach out to him with a final copy, the one-on-one wasn't approved. I was pissed. So I gathered copies of all the emails, the phone calls, every attempt I made to reach out to him and sent it to his boss, Mr. B. Head of Special Ed Services. I also included Mr. C's last email. A couple of days later, Mr. C sent me a formal letter of apology through our district mailing system. Mr. B granted me an extension and filed the paperwork himself, and also granted me an emergency one-on-one while the paperwork was processed. At the end of the year, Mr. C was fired from his position. I doubt it was just me, but I'm sure my receipts had something to do with his removal as SPED Supervisor. And that's my story. I was telling it to a coworker here, and he said I should post it under PettyRevenge. I worked in special ed, and honestly, I'm not aware of how difficult it is to get a one-on-one when a student needs it, because my first job after college was a one-on-one with a student that needed a one-on-one. It was somebody who needed basically technological assistance. So I'm not on the administrative side of hiring somebody to do that sort of thing, but I don't doubt that a lot of districts and even supervisors in positions like this will try to save a buck by not hiring a one-on-one for the job. Our last story today is by Nude in the Garden. She erased us from her wedding, so I'm erasing her from mine. When my brother got married, his bride, now my sister-in-law, had very specific expectations. She wanted everyone in the family to wear their wedding colors, and we all did. People flew in from out of state. Everyone made an effort to make her feel celebrated. The day before the wedding, she made some offhanded but clearly pointed remarks about how our side of the family never takes anything seriously, and she wasn't expecting us to take this seriously either. The comments made their rounds, and feelings were hurt before the wedding even began. But we still showed up, looked great, and participated. Fast forward to getting the wedding photos and video. Not a single photo of our side of the family was posted. Not one. In the entire 3-minute highlight reel, no faces from our family except a 3-second clip of my parents with the bride and groom. The rest of us? It's like we never existed. I texted her cordially and asked if she could send me the pictures with just our siblings since none had been posted. She responded that we never took those pictures. That's wild because I remember helping people adjust corsages for them. She doubled down on the gaslighting. I gave it 6 months and asked again. She suddenly had no idea what I was talking about. Fine. Here's where the petty revenge comes in. I'm getting married in 8 days. I've been engaged for 6 months and planning this moment since she tried to erase us. I hired a great photographer and videographer. What she doesn't know is that the videographer has a secret mission. Make it look like she's getting all the attention. Track her. Hover near her like she's the star of the show. She will feel so seen. And then the final cut? She won't appear for even 1 second. Just like she made sure we didn't. I didn't even invite her originally. Word must have gotten out because she cornered me at a family dinner and said, "Unfortunately, I have to work the day before and after your wedding, but I should still be able to make it." I was so stunned I just said, "That's fine. The Airbnb is booked whether you're there or not." So now she's coming. Ugh. To cope, I spelled her name wrong on the wedding invite on purpose. That was my first move. The video blackout will be my last. Not asking for advice, not asking if it's too mean. It's not. It's exactly fair. Happy to finally talk about it freely. What a miserable person. To cut you and your entire side of the family out of every picture and every video? I don't understand why it seems that she's harboring some sort of resentment for your side of the family, but to make all that effort and spend all this money to go to her wedding, and then to be cut out of any of the memories, is a huge snub. And no, this is not too mean. It is, as you said, exactly fair. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a most excellent day.